and welcome to a very special HubSpot user group. We have flown all the way to Boston for HubSpot's Inbound Conference for 2023, which is a yearly conference where all the partners and customers come together and learn about all the good stuff that's going to be coming out. So we've pre-recorded the HubSpot user group for this month, only because last year we got locked inside and we couldn't get out till about 11 o'clock. So in this session, we're catching up with Luke and Kai from Modern Visual, where we sit down, and Dom, of course, to sit down and discuss all the new features that are coming to your HubSpot portal. So strap yourself in. It's a bit of a long one, but we'll have scrub down at the very bottom here as well if you wanted to fast forward to any particular part. So check it out now. And welcome to the HubSpot user group for Brisbane. We're over here live in Boston at the moment. I'm here joined, unfortunately, but not by Ryan this time around. But we're here with Luke from Modern Visual and Kai from Modern Visual, and also Dom from Neighbourhood. Gents, how are we?
Great, Trav. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Got some second billing there to Ryan, didn't you? Thrown under the bus a little bit.
We really love you, Ryan.
If anyone was wondering why he wasn't here. So we're in Boston at the moment for the 2023 Inbound Conference, and I thought we'd catch up and just chat about all the new features that just got released as well. So I think we're lucky enough to have seen them firsthand here, but I think what we could probably notice, I guess, throughout the portal is that a few betas have probably rolled in to everyone's accounts with before it actually came out live. So some people might have already known about some of the stuff that's getting released, but just firming up, I guess, what exactly went down and what the path moving forward, I guess, for HubSpot is for the next 12 months or so.
Yeah, I think collectively we're all pretty excited about these new features that we're seeing in our portals. It's quite revolutionary for the CRM space, and I can see the team, Kai mainly at this stage, getting excited about everything that's around.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having access to a lot of these, betas early on has been, great to be able to actually see them in practice, even before announcing it. So testing out with a few clients, already some that are finding some good success with some of them, which is really great to see.
Nice. I think it's nice to see some bigger changes than just the year-on-year little incremental stuff. Kind of like a phone, like you're waiting for the phone to change pretty radically. It's like you're sick of the little ones. Yeah. So it's good to see some bigger, specific stuff.
Hopefully Apple follows suit in a couple of weeks with the iPhone 15.
We will see.
I'm not sure we'll be so lucky.
No, I don't think so either. All right, so I think there was 5 major changes, I think, to what rolled out. If we can sum it up, there was the Sales Hub refresh, so a bit of a change to the Sales Hub. We've got the CRM customization, which we'll talk about in a bit. Obviously, Dharmesh has been going on about AI and ChatSpot and stuff, so just bringing in, I guess, a lot of that AI functionality to the...
What's AI? I've never heard of that.
Got no idea. Everyone says it's all
Your first name basis with Dharmesh, eh?
Yes.
Close personal friends with Dharmesh.
We've also got the release of the Commerce Hub and also SMS, which I'm pretty sure people have been seeing pop up, I guess, in their portals. For us in Australia, we're unable to use it across a lot of other features, I guess, that got rolled out. But yeah,
it's been one of those things I've actually had to downplay it a little bit. Unfortunately, customers are getting super excited. It's like our time's just not quite there yet.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Same with payments. I guess the Commerce Hub that's coming out too is the payments is like, oh, when can we use it? It's almost getting forced on us in our account all the time, and we're like, nah, I can't do it.
The number of people who see it and they're like, we'd love to learn more about that. It's like, nah,
yeah. Every time I see it, I get that little glimmer of hope. I'm just like, hang on, maybe it is for us. And then I go through and it's like, get started. And it's like, okay, it's sending me to that.
They let you get so far through the process before they tell you no.
Yeah, exactly. And
do you live in the US? Yes.
I'm almost tempted to give it a crack. Maybe we should all just, go 4 ways on a virtual office here or something and get it set up.
Maybe a VPN or something like that, like Netflix.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, cool. All right, so to talk about, I guess, the Sales Hub refresh, just to sort of speak about some of the stuff that rolled out. We've got the prospecting workspace that came out. We've got the lead management space, A/B split testing for sequences, sequence analytics and reporting, meeting improvements, lead form qualification, lead reporting, predictive forecasting. I need a break. Deal inspection view, and also content assistant. So they were the ones that kind of got rolled out. Do we want to talk really roughly, I guess, probably what you guys are most excited about from, I guess, what I just said?
I think for me,
if you can remember them all.
As much as I'm a business owner, I'm actively, in a sales role as well. And I think, HubSpot becoming more and more like a executive assistant or a personal assistant is what I'm really excited about. So a lot of that sort of AI space and, doing a lot of the legwork for us on a lot of the, I guess, meaningful things like copy and sequences and things like that, that's really valued by myself. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm probably most excited to explore with customers would be the lead management side. I think it's been one of those things with, our kind of, typical HubSpot methodology is utilizing the contacts and being the central point for the lead management, but then being able to have now something represent it, as a separate entity, almost like a pre-sales object, I think will be valuable, and I think that's probably one of the big things with, I reckon, Sales Hub and a lot of these improvements is that it's giving us the ability to have even more options and give our customers more choice in terms of how they actually can utilize the CRM, rather than forcing them maybe down a particular path that has been kind of pushed as being the HubSpot way maybe for the few years, giving them more tools to be like, well, it's a CRM that has got all these different tools and suites, and you can go down whichever path you want and not have to feel like you're restricted to the software. Rather, it can be the other way around.
Nice. So just a bit of a background as well, they're adding a new leads object to HubSpot that's embedded into the prospecting workspace. So users can now create leads from contacts like they can with deals. So no more hassling assigning leads to reps with no busy work. So that's the use case essentially is the ability to track leads separate from the actual contacts itself. That's getting rolled out globally, which is good.
I think you did a good job a moment ago, off mic, before we got onto this, of explaining that to me. But
Yeah.
how would you go about explaining the role of a lead object compared to the contact, like specifically?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think when I'm taking customers through and explaining what each of the objects represent, I'm always trying to bring it into like the real world to find like a tangible object to like actually, compare it with. So a contact is easy, it's a person. But then when they've had to then take someone through a sales journey, they often they almost get that confused with the deal, and they sort of find it hard to find the line between when is a contact just a contact I'm speaking to, and then when does a deal get open. But having that lead is a really good middle ground, because ultimately, if let's say in large organizations where you've got an individual maybe spoken to with multiple people from your organization for different products or offerings, it's hard to contain that all in one object like a contact. You can't have multiple life cycle stages, they can't be in multiple places at one time. But having the lead object, having that one-to-many relationship means that now sales reps from globally from different departments can speak to one person that manage multiple lead relationships and statuses. Which I think is going to be I've already got a couple of great clients. I think I'm going to try and push them over to it soon.
Is that a rest in peace for the lead status property?
Well, it's been
mostly
going.
No one really uses, but sometimes some people do.
When I'm going through customer training and showing them how to maintain their views and stuff in the contacts, going through the quick filters, I'm like, oh yeah, there's that lead status thing. Don't worry about that too much. Let's just keep going. But, look, I think I've been trying to.
Can we delete it? No, we can't delete it. Can we change
there.
it? Can't change it either.
Yeah.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, hopefully we'll see.
Nice. Okay, cool. So that's.
I think it's also worth, just before you move on to the next part, the sequencing stuff. I don't know about you guys. I feel like I don't really recommend sequencing to too many people. There are some people that I think benefit from it. But it's once they work with workflows and they go to sequencing and it's like pared back pretty significantly and it has a pretty specific use case. I think some of the changes they're making to it are good. Some of the stuff, a bit more usability, a bit more insight into how it works, some more stuff you can do with it. So that stuff I think is cool. Hopefully that'll open it up to a few more people. Because I don't know, it just doesn't hit as many people as I think it as it could.
Probably
right
for
now.
us as well, we don't deal with a lot of larger sales teams that are doing large outbound. They sort of go ahead and they're working. There's some outbound, but majority of it's sort of a lot of the inbound sort of. So we don't really get to touch it too much.
Not too many like dedicated salespeople that we speak with. So I'm sure there are those people out there that benefit from it already, but maybe this will open it up a little bit more to those.
I think one of the themes that I've seen highlighted this year is the relevance piece. So, obviously sales teams are having a more difficult time to penetrate and get through to prospects and things like that. And I think, these tools allow you to be super or hyper relevant to that person at the right time. And that's where obviously sequencing, if done well, can work. But like you said, mass volume, it's not really, a space where you would get that relevance in general.
Yeah, nice. So, that was just talking in A/B testing for sequences. So for any email step, Split sends 50-50 to experiment for different templates, reporting the performance for both, and quickly make decisions and optimize outreach. So that's available for pretty much all hubs, which is pretty good.
You took some really detailed notes.
I did. I was there listening. I was very excited to hear this, actually. Very excited. As we go through, there's a few things around sequencing as well. So we've got the split testing for sequences. We've got the sequence step analytics as well. So I guess the analytics for obviously understanding the sequence steps and getting a bit more granular detail, which probably
More reporting, always a good thing.
More reporting. We've got the sequence outcome reporting too. So 2 new metrics will be added to the sequences for the Sales Hub Enterprise customers only. So the deal rate and the total revenue as well. So the use case report if sequences led to a deal creation, and then also that revenue. That's probably not a bad thing, to be honest with you, to get actual reporting to see if what sequences. I mean, we get that, revenue attribution reporting and ROI, but this is from a sequence standpoint, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the things that I'm most excited to see with using sequencing more and more with a lot of our enterprise customers with sales, is the fact that they are doing a lot of work to the reporting side of it and making it more relevant. Coming back to your point, Dom, earlier about workflows and trying to, I guess, find a use case where you would say pick a sequence over a workflow. I think you are hit the nail on the head there, where it is often quite difficult to kind of find that sequences is going to be way better for this, so we'll take this path instead. And I think now that they're starting to do a lot of these things, adding the A/B testing to the sequence, one of the things, with the new workflow triggers recently we've seen with the event occurring as opposed to filtering, we've now got when a contact finishes a sequence, or if a sequence was successful, it can then now trigger a workflow. So now we've got a lot of extra use cases to actually bring that almost as like a prequel to the actual workflow being utilized to then do all the cool stuff that it needs to do in the automation suite. I see it being a lot more relevant hopefully soon.
Nice. One of the things I've been looking forward to is the book meetings on behalf of others, which is pretty good. And I know that we've got a few use cases where, in order for us to do that, we've had to go through and obviously open it incognito so we don't get the cookie, and then go and book it on behalf. And I sometimes in a sales case, I sometimes do that on behalf of the prospects, just so that I can actually get that locked in for them on their behalf. But they're allowing reps to book meetings on behalf of other reps to provide round-robin routing functionality right on the contact record to efficiently book meetings for the rep. So that's next up on the rotation. So you can give credit to both the person booking the meeting and the person that's actually hosting the meeting as well.
Another good point as well, like we look at some of these really big features that get released, but sometimes it's these little 2%ers that really count, and they're the ones that really block people in their day. So these things are obviously not a massive feature, but highly relevant for people to get on with it during the day. So really excited about that.
I think we had one of those recently where this isn't something from inbound, but the ability, some of the changes with the workflows that they've made recently, allowing you to, I feel like this is a very specific thing, but triggering a workflow for one object, but pulling information off an associated object. So like the use case for us was always, if you're trying to copy something from the contact to the deal, it has to be a contact workflow. And it was always such a pain because it meant you had to set up 3 other workflows to move information to make that happen. But now you can do it. And I remember saying that to some of the guys internally. I'm like, God, it took 1,000 years and it's so important, and it's just like appeared there, and we're like, God, I wish they'd like put on the flashing lights.
Yeah, I think that was one of those features that it's just like, I don't know why it didn't get like a big announcement or something. Like it's
put
huge.
a headline inbound with that.
You could
have a conference just for it.
Bring Barack and have him say, this is what's happening, we've put it in the workflails, and then he can walk off stage and we're good.
And then mic drop, and then the crowd would go wild, and that would just be inbound over. 3-day event done in 15 seconds.
If I had my way.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's going to be launching globally for Pro and Enterprise, and that's currently live. Have a go at that. All right, the next one, the lead qualification form. So create conditional redirect rules within HubSpot forms to automatically qualify and route your leads to the right rep. For each form submission, users can have conditional logic set to change what thank you message, URL, or meeting scheduling appears based on the form response. This will allow marketing and sales team to automate their rules for qualification. Discuss.
I think that's a massive one. Hey, like our time is quite precious during the day, and we're obviously wanting to have as many meaningful conversations as we can. That qualification process is critical. So the fact that they're really paying attention to that and putting some focus in that with that tool is going to be pretty game changing, in my opinion.
That's for sales and service enterprise. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's definitely something that we've had a crack at with for a few customers outside of just the regular graphical interface. With a bit of JavaScript and a bit of know-how, you can do those sorts of things with the embedding form features. But yeah, definitely being able to do that in that user interface is just going to open it up to more customers being able to do this without having to spend crazy amounts of time working out how the old school dev docs explain how embed forms work. So yeah, it's going to save a lot of headaches, I think, for people.
Just makes it simpler.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's the start of their radical changes to the form tool.
Yeah.
If this is part one.
I did say off air that if they could just replicate Jot forms, we'd be very happy.
Or Typeform.
Or anything. Really.
Any form software, yeah.
Cool. All right, so there's lead reporting too. So this comes to Sales Hub Pro and Sales Hub Enterprise. It's currently live for those that are running there, but demystify the road from lead gen. What a word.
What a word.
What a word. For the road from lead gen to revenue and rally your marketing and sales teams for clear goals insights. So you got the lead contact rate report and then the lead source report as well. So that's currently live. Just, I guess, a bit more reporting in there for Sales Hub Pro and Sales Hub Enterprise as well. Prospect activities reporting. I don't know, does anyone get excited about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I'll just quickly, it's up on the screen as we talk at the moment, but the out-of-box report gives sales managers insight to their teams and reps' activities. Prospecting activities help you assess the effectiveness of your sales process, resource allocation, and team performance. So you can analyze the performance of various activities during the prospecting, like book meetings, enrolling contacts in sequences, making calls, and completing tasks. So that's for Sales Hub Pro and Enterprise, and currently live as well.
Yeah, I think like one of the things in the past that was huge was obviously like getting volume, getting as many meetings booked as you can, or calls or whatever it may be. But now it's more about like the meaningful conversations and activities within that. And I think that's where HubSpot's realizing with these new tools that that's important to track.
Right on. Moving on.
I think the prospecting stuff is like the sequences. I think that there's appeals there to those like hard out sales teams, right? That sort of stuff. The ability to, they've effectively, the prospecting thing is a new section I think they've added recently. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And it's annoying where it is. Can I just say this? It's annoying that it is right under where deals was, and I keep clicking on it, and I just want... Kyle Jepson, I want you to change the location.
Is he in charge of the UI?
He'd have some pull.
While we're talking to heavy hitters, can we get the Google Authenticator icon changed back to what it was, please?
Where's Dharmesh? Can we get him on the phone?
I can probably call him in. Yeah, it's all right. I'll just pull him in. No problem.
Yeah, if we could move, if the ability to change the prospecting just to deals at the top, that would be ideal. Thank you.
Or just put it in its own section. I mean, it doesn't have to be under the sales icon. I mean, I can imagine a lot of people are going to be clicking on it, so move it somewhere else. Or give us the ability to move where things are. I mean, there's a menu editor for building the the CMS menu. Give us our own option to change that.
I bet you the product manager put that at the top and said, "See, we're getting a lot of views. There's a lot of people clicking on it. There's a lot of views." Yeah. So HubSpot embed for Salesforce. This is Sales and Service Hub and Pro and Enterprise.
What's Salesforce?
Salesforce. Never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Create great connections with your prospects and customers in Sales Hub, no matter which CRM you use. Enroll contacts into HubSpot sequences and create meetings directly from the Salesforce records, so reps can spend less time clicking between tabs and more time connecting to customers.
Yeah, I think that's a common issue where obviously sales teams are running Salesforce for their business for whatever reason, and obviously HubSpot's brought in, whether it be for marketing or service or every other great part of HubSpot, and those gaps are pretty quickly identified, and I think there's a number of things that they've addressed there.
Yeah. Right on. Thoughts, Dom?
I mean, I don't think I haven't used Salesforce significantly. I know that it can be tricky, and I know that we've run into some headaches with the existing integration stuff, so hopefully this addresses some of those issues. I know that I don't know the specifics of what they're addressing here, but I know that some of the custom object stuff was always a bit tricky, so hopefully this will address some of that and make that a bit clearer, cleaner, and more usable.
Nice. Well, that's rolling out globally and is now live for those playing at home. All right, you've got the Salesforce. while we're on the train of Salesforce, we've got the Salesforce Activity Sync. So moving forward, live with Pro and Enterprise. This is currently in private beta. Sync Salesforce activities into HubSpot so you can analyze calls, meetings, tasks, and more in Sales Hub, no matter where they originated from.
That's probably about 12 months too late for us, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, look, I mean, it's fantastic. I think that's going to definitely bridge that gap as one of those pain points people have been having to actually get that data in. It's been fantastic that we've been able to share HubSpot activity into Salesforce for obvious reasons, but definitely on the returning end has definitely been a bit of an issue for some of our customers that have been trying to make it work. So, I mean, custom integrations and all sorts of stuff has come up to kind of solve those needs. But if that's going to be baked in, it's another great reason. It builds upon that integration, which, again, isn't perfect, but it's probably one of the most robust native integrations, right, on the marketplace. So it's definitely getting improvements all the time.
Well, it wasn't long ago that HubSpot was on Salesforce. 3 years ago, I think it was, they moved from their core Salesforce and they actually moved. That's when they started to move up to the enterprise. And they used themselves as their actual case study. So they actually moved all of them off from Salesforce onto HubSpot. Which
there you go.
Yeah. Back in the day. Anyway, so that's for all hubs with pro plans. Okay, moving on as well. Currently live globally for Pro and Enterprise. We've got Forecast Insights. This is probably more on the goals tool, which is or forecast tool. Sorry. So see how your revenue is trending against your sales targets. I guess this has probably been pretty active in the portals for a while. Just announcing it now.
I think it's improvements.
Yeah, I think
to that
small
stuff. The forecasting's always been there, but it's been a bit limited. So
you'll see on the screenshot that we put up on here as well, there's sort of insights as well. I think now there's new embedded insights data, makes it easier to monitor and forecast the pipeline, how they're trending throughout the quarter, which is good. So a use case specifically within insights data, we're centering on what matters while layering the wow factor that helps customers track trends. So I think just better insights for the sales team.
I think we're seeing obviously longer sales cycles in the current market as well. So forecasting is a lot more relevant. There's a lot more time for a deal to be active, and I guess more accurate forecasting is really critical for sales managers at the moment.
Yeah. For the next one, we've got the forecast accuracy tracking. Got it. Measuring the reliability of your forecast and effectiveness of your forecasting process with forecasting accuracy tracking. So I guess that's just a bit of an order.
sorry about him, Vlad.
Sorry about it. Can I use jet lagged? I'm still jet lagged. But I guess that's just more of an audit process really on how things are progressing based on what was set and then obviously what the outcome was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate again, like obviously it's all about, forecasting at the moment, and businesses are critical in this down market. So another very relevant tool.
Now that's in public beta as well. So for those playing at home as well, to get into the public betas, if it's available in your region, go up to where your company name is, click on that, go down to product updates, and then at the very bottom at the left-hand side, you'll see beta. Click on that and you can enroll yourself or the whole company into the beta itself if need be. We're bringing up AI for the first time. It's been half an hour in and we're only speaking about AI for the first time. AI forecasting. So this is actually pretty good. I think personally, I get the AI stuff, I get it, but I think this will be actually. What
does AI stand for again?
So I think that basically what it's saying here is that pressure test the forecast rolled up from the team against HubSpot's new AI-powered forecast, which uses historical sales to project future sales. AI improves the accuracy for some teams up to 95%. I think that's actually pretty good because it's real data that's basically working against that. So
yeah, I mean, little plug here for Ebster. We've been an Ebster partner for some time, and their tool is obviously like a revenue intelligence tool, which works quite well with HubSpot. This paired with Ebster and the rest of recommended tech stack is going to be another level. Businesses just having access to AI now. It's all come across like very quickly. When you think about it, 2 years ago we weren't even talking about AI. Obviously it was more of a niche thing. So having that power for your forecasting and looking at trends and things like that to make better decisions around what deals to chase and what is likely to close, so you can put your effort into that. It's just it's mission critical for businesses. So
yeah, nice. Cool. So that's in private beta 2 globally for Sales Hub Pro and Enterprise.
It's good that a lot of this stuff is coming to Pro. It's not just a
Don't forget the little people.
yeah. That's right. It's not enterprise just getting more and more distant.
I always get a little bit bitter because something comes out and I'm like, I'm sure that's for enterprise, and I'm like, nice, it's on pro.
I remember when Playbooks came out to Pro from Enterprise, and that was just huge for everyone.
Well, forecast across all of the pipelines is coming out as well for Pro and Enterprise, and I think that's currently live. So now you can forecast across all pipelines, not singular, which is pretty good. Nice. There's a lot of deal improvements. I didn't think this would be this much, but deal inspection view. So this one here, you can now see insights on your pipeline health and sales velocity when managing deals. With these new insights, sales reps can now prioritize more easily and managers can coach more effectively. Make sure you set aside time on a weekly basis to regularly review these insights, as they'll give you an at-a-glance view of the health of your sales pipeline and your sales process. So that's currently live globally for Sales Hub Pro and Sales Hub Enterprise as well.
I mean, just a quick comment here, like something that HubSpot does do really, really well is obviously that user experience, and something they put that effort into is like these little views here and there throughout the system, and making sure that at a glance people can see what they really need to see quickly. So that's another example of where that's been done really well.
I actually quite like the insights across the deal board now. I think that's really good. It's something that we use Databox for on a regular basis for some of that, average deal size, velocity, things like that. Getting that pretty much real time has been really great. Does anyone know, is that, I haven't played with it too much, but it's obviously global. Can you set a time basis for that? Because I can see that the actual insights at the very top there, it's looking at all of my closed, for the historic for it.
Yeah, I don't know if it
you can
if it listens to the filters, if it can go, okay, well, this is we're looking at deals for the last 90 days. I'm not sure if it's there yet. I could be wrong. Lockie at home, if you could check that out for me, it'd be great.
That's why I'm dancing around it, because maybe they have.
Yeah, but but if they haven't, Kyle, hook that up, get it sorted. That'd be great. Yeah.
We're looking at you, Kyle.
Yeah.
He's just the guy that talks about the features, not influence them. Cool. That's like I said, that's Sales Hub Pro and Enterprise now currently live, which is good. You got the deal funnel reporting. We spoke about this a little bit beforehand off mic as well. I guess the significant changes on our funnel reporting, all stages in any order. So the funnels got updated with skips, conversions, and time in stage. And 2, all stages in order. Funnels get updated with skips, conversions, times in stage. And then you have 2 visualization choices, Skanky and funnel. And you can edit this report in journeys as well. Customization is available only in Enterprise though.
Yeah, look, I think that's actually going to be a massive game changer, even for the way that we, coach through our sales process workshops. One of the things we've been sort of forced down is the fact that, when designing a sales process, we're very, rigid around everyone must touch all the stages and go through the whole process left to right like a conveyor belt. And I think, that's best practice, but it's also been largely to do with the fact that the reporting at HubSpot, especially for funnel-based reporting, is you want to make sure that you're going through all of them in a linear fashion, you're going through all the steps. But I think if, they're going to allow us to be able to have these skips being in place for some of these reports, well, it means that we can actually, rather than having to build 5 or 6 pipelines that are very rigid because you have to go through one of them and touch all the stages, we can be a lot more laid back in our approach when it comes to building out those workshops.
I will tell you, Geordie is going to be very happy about this.
Yeah, I
because
think
the skips just
we kind of covered it the other direction, where we say deals don't have to touch every stage, therefore forecasting reporting is pointless.
Yeah.
It's like do use your sales pipeline however makes sense, and the reporting will just build our best way of building it ourselves. We'll build you a report that'll give you that information. The stuff that's in there already isn't going to work because it is so rigid and because it is making some assumptions.
Yeah.
So hopefully these changes will mean that, for you guys, the functionality gets opened up a little bit and they can be a bit more free with their pipelines, and for us, they can use those reports without us having to build one, because the building of them is what. Sorry, I shouldn't gesture with this, should I?
I was trying to eye you off to your mouth.
I know you say Geordie will be happy. He's happy because he doesn't have to build them every time anymore. So hopefully that this addresses that, and those reports become a little bit more just flexible and a bit more functional. Because it's been weird. It's always been a bit of an odd limitation.
Because you go in head first thinking, okay, I know how to do this, and you build it, and then all of a sudden it's not until you start to get to the back end of the reporting and you're like, hang on, this isn't reporting right because this didn't go to that stage, and it's like, oh, it doesn't work. But it's good to see that this is coming out.
Yeah,
this
good that
is
they're addressing it.
live globally, Sales Hub Pro and Enterprise. All right, guys. So another one that has come out has been Journey Deal Analytics. So Customer Journey Analytics is now inclusive of the ability to build journey based on deals exclusive to Sales Hub Enterprise, which is pretty good. I think this one's a good one.
Yeah, I reckon that's a massive one. It's long overdue, I think, to be honest. We see a lot of customer requests for that type of analytics, and they finally put it in. So
Nice one.
I think more reporting is always if I could report on everything, that'd be great. So more reporting is a good thing.
I think when the custom reporting tool came out, that was one of the there was a lot of sighs of relief in the office because there was some stuff that we could do.
I don't know why the old one is still there, if I'm being honest. I tell people, I'm like, there's 2 types of reporting. You can ignore this one, just use this one.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I'm going to train you how to do reports, but don't worry about that single object thing. We'll just talk about the other one. Yeah.
Deal tags. I think deal tags is something that that popped up about 6 weeks ago, maybe 7
They've
weeks
been
ago.
around for a little while,
Yeah. I think if everyone can see on the screen now, we've got the coloured tags here, making it easy for reps to visually scan the board and know which deals to prioritise. And you can kind of label these however you want, really. Bree at Neighbourhood, she's done some really cool stuff where she's basically automated a deal tag to pop up on a certain event. I think there's a lot of good use cases. Obviously, the easy one's going to be a hot lead, medium lead, and a cold lead. That's an easy one, but you can use it for anything, really.
Yeah, I actually have an interesting use case. We just recently worked with a SaaS company that obviously works on subscription-based renewals and whatnot. And as part of their sort of end of the cycle when they're renewing for the next period, when it gets to the end, there's actually a series of conditional tags that then highlights within the last 3 months of their cycle where they sort of sit in terms of how many days are left. So 60 days, 30 days, 14 days left. And then actually having, because they're a bit of a more of a fun company, they were happy to use emojis as well. So actually having, a happy face when they've got a bit more time, and then a really stressed face when it's only a couple of days left. So I think that's actually a really good way, just, from the bird's eye view, being able to actually see where those kind of intricate details are of where the deals are at. It's handy.
I think there are a lot of companies out there that we recommend having different deals for different, whether it's different products or different processes in the same pipeline. And I think anyone who does that, anyone who has multiple, bring it closer. Anyone who is using a pipeline that has deals in it that are different types of deals that have different information or for different types of customer, that's a super useful thing. Look at it at a glance. I know you can put some information, some of the properties on a deal card, but this will make it a lot clearer and easier to see it at a glance.
So coming out for Pro and Enterprise for Sales and Service Hub, we've got advanced playbook recommendations. So recommending playbooks against any property in the object, including custom properties and properties in the custom object. So I think using just maybe a bit of AI to sort of recommend, I guess, the playbook based on where the deal's at.
Yeah, there's that AI word again. Hey.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
It's just been drilled into my head over and over again.
I thought it was after inbound, as in the after inbound party, but apparently it's a bit more than that.
Yeah, for sure. So that's Pro and Enterprise, currently live globally, which is good. So we got the next one here, which is the playbooks, snippets, and rich text formatting. Introducing snippets to support your playbook field notes. Now you can save commonly used phrases as snippets and reuse them in the playbook notes with ease. Kind of feel like this is a bit of a should have been there in the first place kind of thing.
Surprising that it wasn't. Yeah. Not to jump ahead, is this a Pro thing or an Enterprise thing?
This is Pro and Enterprise,
Cool.
currently live as well. So being able to use snippets in there.
More functionality on playbooks for Pro is good. I think they're, again, a little bit limited right now. Great at Enterprise, okay at Pro. More functionality at Pro is good.
I think there's a bit of a time to market play here. So HubSpot want to release features as quickly as they can, like major features and updates, and then obviously these little 5%ers end up getting added later. So
I still am dirty the fact that you can't update custom properties in Pro.
Yeah.
It annoys me so much.
Yeah, I think I just want to add a note to that too, right? I think it was awesome that they did bring playbooks down to the Pro level, but I don't want to say useless, right?
It is.
Not.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Because it's almost like, I understand Enterprise will be, the highest tier, best of the best features, but that to me doesn't feel like an Enterprise service, right?
Agree.
If you're an Enterprise customer, you're thinking, big enterprise business, professional customers are constantly asking for that feature, and I'm having to break the bad news. If they could at least, that would be the only thing they would need to do, and it would make playbooks like 10 times more relevant for the pro users for sure.
I agree. I was super frustrated when I found out that feature was in enterprise. So we've got playbooks on custom object records as well, which is coming out in Pro. Oh, it's live now globally. Pro and Enterprise for Sales and Service Hub too. So another good addition there, gents. We've got coaching playlists as well. So I guess this comes into like the conversational intelligence tool, of which I think one thing to note as well is that that's all getting pulled in from Aircall now as well. So not only does it have to be actually within and Zoom, but all those conversational analytics are now coming through and going into the one place. So we've got coaching playlists as well, so we can enable users to save call recordings to playlists, making it easy to onboard and upskill reps at scale, which is, I think, pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Aircall were pretty excited about that when they mentioned it to me as well. And, obviously that allows a lot more, kosher between third-party integrations, and it's good to see that that's happening more and more as well.
Yeah, nice. Anything else? No? Okay. All right, we've got sequences on mobile. It's another one, Sales and Service Hub, Pro and Enterprise. It's currently live globally, so you can iOS and Android apps supporting enrolling and unenrolling, pausing and resuming contacts in a sequence.
I think as somebody who, built our business, by being on the road, doing sales, like just even in a general sense, having, a great mobile app, it was so long overdue, but now just these little cherries on top in the HubSpot mobile app is just amazing.
They've made some pretty significant changes in the last few months, right? I think I remember touching the app originally years ago, and it was not a good time, so I just never touched it again.
Yeah.
But recently they've put some work into it, and it's come up to par a bit.
I really like the reply email notification in the HubSpot app. So now if you get a reply to a sales email, it'll pop up as a push notification, and I'm like, thank you. That's the one email that I wanted to know the reply for. It's the one, which is really, really good.
I think you're probably getting to it, but some of the stuff they're doing to put people into the CRM via the app, like QR codes and the business card stuff that's been there for a little while, is good as well. It cuts down a lot of unnecessary form submission or
That's one little gem of that little app there, is the business card tool. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to plug it because I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, every time I do a demo and I go through the CRM and I get to the point where I'm like, all right, it's probably worth, for anyone that's on the go to download the app. I'm like, there's this really cool feature, and I'm just dying for people to start using it. It's a business card scanner.
It's very good. It's very good.
Look, it depends on how often you're picking up business cards, I suppose. It is 2023. We have digital business cards. There's LinkedIn. So
I did think one of the best things that happened was the when you send an email, HubSpot will read the email signature and pre-populate it. I thought that was a really, really good one. Really, really good.
I agree. Yeah, that is. So I was a bit slow there. Yeah, as I keep saying, there's just these little 2%ers that just bring joy to your life that they introduce, and we just want to see it keep coming and coming.
Clean data. I just love that. It's just so good. So good. So we've got mixed reviews in my part, but Content Assistant on mobile. So we get that AI, that buzzword, I guess, that has arrived on the mobile app. And its ability to sort of, I guess, prospecting and selling on the go using AI. Personally, I think that this has a bit of way to go, in my opinion, and now it's on mobile, which is fine. Really good for sales teams. If you want to write any other email other than a sales email, it's not really for you just yet, and I feel like great for salespeople on the go and mass outbound. I think if you're doing a lot of outbound, I think it's perfect for you. Again, I think it's a bit to go, but it's available, which means it's good. It's on mobile now, so we can, at least all the developments that happen will happen concurrently with both desktop and mobile too.
I think this is, you were saying earlier, they want to rush it to market to get the cool toy out there. That's what this is, and in 6 months when they've put in all the other little 2%ers, it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think as well, a big part of what we do and you guys do as well is change management, and I think it's very easy to shove a ton of features into an app or into a piece of software because it seems cool and it's very relevant and current, but can actually be a bit of a deterrent for people to adopt the tool if we go a bit too hard on the features, I think. So
I just want to know when they're actually going to start doing those 2%ers on the meetings tool. That'd be nice.
one little journey at a time.
Yeah.
Even if they could just have a little toggle so we could turn off people's calendars within the organization like Gmail does with Google Calendar. That's just like, it would not, I mean, I don't know, I don't build things like that, but surely.
Sometimes when I book someone on Calendly, it goes, would you like to add someone to this meeting? I'm like, yes, I would love to. Thank you. I've never had this opportunity. It's like just such a simple use case.
Yeah.
I think the cancel and reschedule was revolutionary. Needed, but I was like, oh, thank you. Like the fact that you can reschedule it is a really big thing. But adding people to the meeting, there's a lot of really good features I think that you've got on Calendly that you can just bring across and just be like, you are 70% there. You are 70% there. Just take the other 30 from that. You're perfect.
I think there's got to be a method. Yeah, there's got to be a method to the madness here, HubSpot. If you can tell us what that is, we'd love to know. Is it a bit of Stockholm syndrome? We don't know.
If we're doing this again, one thing to throw on the pile is the fact that date fields hold a time and you can't access it or use it infuriates me. If you export it, you can see it, and it's like there is a time saved there. But like a meeting gets booked for a time and all they give you is the date in the property, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I mean, we have that come up all the time, and you know, we're constantly having to sort of like explain to people, no, you can't request a time inside of a form. You know, if someone wants to book a time with you, write it in plain text, sort of that manually. I mean, obviously you can set up the API and whatnot, so you can actually convert these date to date time, which we've done for a few different calculated properties and whatnot. But that I just feel like is such a low-hanging fruit that they're just not picking up on.
I mean, it stops you from doing so many obvious, like, reminder email type things before an event or a meeting, in anything more than the day before, right? 9 a.m. the day before or the day of the meeting is just such a basic amount of functionality.
It's just crazy, right? Like, you think about it functionally, like, the data can be already stored as a date time. That's not an issue. It can get stored. It gets stored as an integer. It's an option. All they have to do is spend a couple of hours building a drop down that looks half decent, so you can select the time. Then you can store it. I mean,
well, you've nailed it. There's that. You mentioned, only a couple of hours, and this is where the entrepreneur and all of us wants to just, hijack HubSpot's code and come in and just do it for them, and all the customers will be.
The problem is,
Only takes an hour.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. I wanted to come back to we were talking about AI just before, and I don't know if this is in your.
What's AI?
I don't know. After inbound, didn't you say before?
Yes.
The chat spot. I'm not sure if that's on our agenda, but something else I reckon is like 60 to 70% there, and it's hard to find its relevance at the moment.
30?
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I'm being generous.
I used it the other day to summarize a deal, and it said, you are the owner of the deal, and the amount is $30,000. I went, thank you. Anything else? No. I was like, there's about a month's worth of data in that deal board, but no,
Siri.
it told me that I was the owner.
Is Siri.
I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
We're very sorry, Dharmesh. We really love ChatSpot.
Yeah, it's the Bixby of
Yeah, that's right.
Oh god.
What's that Microsoft podcast? The Microsoft iPod that came in. No. The Zune.
All right, moving on. We got all right. So we've got the QR scanner for salespeople to create and save new contacts in their CRM through a simple two-step process, easily reading the QR code. Scanning the QR code complements the HubSpot mobile app business card scanning tool. That's pretty cool. I mean,
I still have nightmares over QR codes from COVID lockdowns, but that's just me.
yeah, it's really taken off. But I mean, this is just another.
I used to think, like, why don't more people use QR codes? And everyone was like, it's so clunky. And then COVID happened and everyone had to use them. And now, people are back on board, it seems. It's
Like Zoom,
it never went anywhere.
Yeah, I want to, this was and I guess I'm somewhat disappointed and ashamed of myself, but I'm happy to put it publicly. I declared QR codes dead about 6 years ago. Publicly. I'm pretty sure I put something up on social media. I'm like, they are never going to happen. You can't even use the camera app to scan them. You got to download a third-party thing. It's confusing. It's not going to happen. And then the pandemic happened. So whoever made QR codes is probably really thankful for that, I'm sure.
Imagine they made 5 cents or even 1 cent for every scan or something.
Yeah, they should have made it.
They probably read your Facebook post, sold the rights, and now they're nothing.
Yeah.
So the QR scanner is available on all hubs, free, and it's live globally as well. So open up that app and have a little play. There you go. All right, the next one. Okay, so that was all the Sales Hub. That was crazy. What are we, 45 minutes in?
Yeah.
What does everyone feel about the Sales Hub improvements? I mean, there's things that obviously should have been there at the first place. There's things that's been added. Dom?
I think it's promising. I think it's good. I think they're addressing some of the issues that we've had historically, which is good to see. Like I said, it's good that it's a pretty sweeping, significant change. It's not it is a bunch of little things, but it's not like it's piecemeal improvements. There's some big major steps being taken here. I think that the people it's going to benefit most are big sales heavy, like sales team style companies.
Upmarket.
Yeah, I guess sort of enterprise. But there is some stuff there for everyone else as well. So I like that a lot of it is pro. I like that it addresses some of those issues. But I think that those big teams are the ones that are going to get the most out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I think it's really good to see that that component, that hub, is really getting a lot of work because, as we all know, HubSpot being traditionally a very marketing focused platform, and I still think it is, to a lot of to a significant degree. Thank you. Not consent. That's the wrong word. Thank you. Maybe cut that somewhere. But I can't. Yeah, whatever. Cut. But yeah, no. Look, I think it's definitely something that is great to be able to sort of make these hubs be a little bit more in line in terms of when you come into HubSpot, it's not like there's this is other hub that you can buy if you want, but you should always have Marketing Hub. I think it's starting to like make it so that sort of pick what you want, buy the hub that makes the most sense to you, actually is a bit more relevant now. And I think they're definitely bridging the gap, I think, between themselves and other sales related competitors.
Mr. Truan.
Yes, I think, looking at Apple and how they release their new products every year, there's obviously iterations to a product, but then they have almost like a revolution. I don't know if it's every 5 years or, where people are getting a bit sort of tired of seeing the same thing, and then there's just this big revolution, or Huvolution for Robert Jones. Hello. Your tagline there. So I think, this is probably really overdue, having this big revolution of the tool, and, sometimes their Sales Hub and Service Hub felt pretty much like the same tool, just to, name something different. It was just a Kanban board. So having now a lot more depth to the tool and a lot more, excitement around features, and it's very timely with the market, as I keep saying, with everything going on. So yeah, really excited just to see this revolution, I'll call it, not iteration.
For me personally, I love the incremental improvements. I would love to see some best in class with the existing. Like I said, I mentioned the meetings tool before. You are just about there. You could just do 30% more and you'll be best in class. I think these are all great and all needed when we're moving up market with a lot of the larger clients that we're getting. But I think that just a little bit more polish on the stuff that exists, and I think that'll be really good. You have the chance to be the best tool for meetings in the whole of the globe. And you're just about there. And I think that these are great additions, but I think just go ahead and use the stuff that we've been using for years and make it the best it can be. And I would love that. Please.
I wonder if they're...
Please pour on Halligan. Come back from the grave.
I don't know too much about how Salesforce does the sequencing or the sequence equivalent stuff. But I wonder if maybe that's their play this one, is let's get sequences to that point. Maybe they're trying to be best in class on that side of things. If so, that would make sense. But like we said earlier, it's maybe just not the tool that we use the most. So
nice. All right, so this next one I'm going to go through here. I'm going to go. Sorry.
So speed round.
Speed round. Yeah, I was just thinking, this is the CRM customization that they sort of spoke about. You were there, weren't you?
I was, yes.
Yeah, you were there. The CRM customization. So I'll go through it and then I'll just get you. There's only sort of three things to sort of cover. There's the CRM development tools to build the UI extensions with React as the front end. I know we spoke about this with our HubSpot update on our YouTube channel, Neighbourhood Agency. Search for it. But you're able to bring the information across the platforms into one central place of the record and show users the right information at the right time by creating a UI extensions or custom cards for use to the CRM records. With React, build richer and more interactive extensions to improve your overall functionality. So use cases might be to unlock integrations with third-party as well as customers' internal systems, allow developers to build custom UI features on top of HubSpot CRM, and then build interactive and dynamic custom user experiences on top of HubSpot CRM record pages as UI extensions.
Yeah, just to quickly touch, I mean, I could talk about this for hours and hours, but that's probably the most exciting thing for me and for our customers is the fact that we can add that new dimension of customization to a record via a CRM card. And, we build a lot of these custom CRM cards for our clients and we can brand it in their own org, or it can be branded to HubSpot. So it's quite seamlessly part of that experience of the CRM system itself. So the world is your oyster when it comes to this feature. So I'm really excited to see that that's now enhanced again.
Nice. The next one I've got is 8 CRM data components, including report, associations, tables, and stage tracker. So we could boost rep productivity by customizing the record page view by team. So we've got monitor account revenue, filter associated contacts, visualize deal ticket pipelines and stage, and action extensibility in CRM data components as well. So use cases would be show their teams the right data in the right place at the right time, keep their teams working within HubSpot as much as possible, and increase rep adoption across the teams. This is for enterprise, and it's in public beta as well.
Yeah. This probably would have to be one of the best things I've seen HubSpot bring out in a while, is this ability to make these adjustments to the CRM overview screens, because I think
you were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, like this is just it is awesome. Like, you know, the fact that, and it's, again, like I know the point prior you spoke about, you know, the React base being able to sort of build your own, but now having these cards be pre-built, ready to go, drag and drop, you just go in there and you select what you want. You know, it gives that sort of customization ability back to the customer itself, being able to do this. And yeah, definitely those association tables are awesome. I don't know if you guys have played around with them yet, but you know, the sidebar, the association sidebar, I think it's dead. I think it's time to go the right sidebar, because I think if we can incorporate all of that now into that center pane, build out these tables, you know, customize them with different filters and whatnot, and those single object reports, probably the only time now it's actually worthwhile having. You know, having that now on the record overview, so we can see companies individually what they're spending, and build reports just for them. See it, you know, directly in that view is just, it's going to be a game changer.
Nice. And then and the third thing as well is the CRM record page editor. So the CRM record page editor allows admins to easily customize. What are we saying?
That was literally what I was talking about. I think I got the things confused. I jumped ahead, but yeah, I'll let you finish.
I think the one before is the tools to build this. So that was my understanding of it, is all of the things on the last page you went through was all of the stuff that you can use to build the changes to the record.
Yeah, so my comments are done then. I'll let you finish. You go for it. It's all right.
We can just run them through again.
Vlad will get rid of that. Yeah. All right, we're going to go speed round through this because I think we're nearly coming up to time, but I'll go through the AI stuff. And I know that AI is the hot topic of every software platform out there at the moment, but there's obviously improvements, and everyone's seen some improvements to the social tools and to a bunch of tools that we're using inside HubSpot, and also with the extensions of Gmail, etc. Outlook as well. Have we got that in Outlook as well? Functionality. So you know how we were looking at this morning with the AI side? Is that on Outlook as well?
I feel like it would be. It would have to be.
Yes.
To be validated.
We'll pop something up on the screen post-edit just to let you know whether it is or isn't possible. We'll put our foot in our mouth. So
we know what we're doing.
Okay, so the AI subject line generator. So you can now use the AI to generate subject lines. This is good for me. I reckon I sit and look at that subject line and write something and delete it, write something and delete it, write something and delete it about 10 times. I think this is really good.
I think just to call Kai out here, you know, I often feel that a lot of Kai's correspondence to clients, I get CC'd and BCC'd and some stuff, is like top notch. It's you know, second to none. And then I found out Kai's dirty little secret. Do you want to?
Okay, all right. I'm going to take the mark off you for this one. No, look, all right. I am an absolute huge advocate for ChatGPT. I will say I don't use it to write any of my emails, but I maybe should, because I spend a lot of time writing emails. So, I mean, look, I do put a lot of time and effort into getting my message right, and, you know, I'll spend hours crafting an email, and hopefully my clients enjoy it and find it useful and they actually read all of it. But no, look, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's trying to find ways to, you know, improve the efficiency of your day. And I mean, look, I can totally understand that you want to put that personal touch into your emails, but at the end of the day, if you're just trying to provide customers with a simple, hey, we'll get back to you, or you just want to give some generic replies, you know, I don't see why you wouldn't use something like Content Assistant. I mean, again, maybe 60-70% of the way there, maybe less or whatever, but I think that we're getting to that point now where, you know, we should be spending more time on actually the solution and the designing and helping the customer get to their goal, rather than trying to find the best way to say, you know, I'll be in touch next week with an update or something on your project.
So we got the AI.
I reckon for these ones, you can probably just go through those headlines. Yeah. Like they're bringing it to everything.
Yeah, they're bringing it to everything. So we've got the AI website builder.
That one's actually pretty weird, actually. Let's talk about that.
So apparently they are building a single-page AI-enhanced onboarding experience that dramatically reduces the number of decisions CMS free users need to make when getting started from a website. So in this flow, HubSpot will ask the user a question about their business after signing up, then leverage AI to create one single-page site. This feature does not create an entire website.
And this is for free users, right?
It's for everybody. Yes, it's essentially for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in private beta.
I like cool that it cuts down on work. You see a lot of cookie cutter stuff, right? You're going to see that paged a lot. So good for those people that don't have the time, the inclination, or the will, but probably not something I'd recommend to too many people.
No. We got the AI generated social copy within the blog editor. I think that's cool. I played with that. It's cool. It's cool. We got the AI-powered content ideas for the blog using SEMrush data. That's actually pretty good. We got Content Assistant, one click, and the title and meta description generated for pages and blogs.
I think that's the procrastination killer, so that's perfect.
Yeah, that's good. I might go get a coffee. Oh, no, I'll just do it quickly. The image generation. So generate images based on prompt. That's pretty good. What's the name of that image?
Mid-Journey?
Mid-Journey, yeah. We're bringing Mid-Journey.
I think that also, I wouldn't say I'm skeptical, but I think that the image generation stuff you have to be careful with. Don't do anything with people. Don't do anything with
Yeah, some weird faces.
Yeah, they're not good at hands, etc.
Or cultural norms.
Yeah. So as long as it's like a picture of a plant or of, a beach or something like that, I'm sure it'll do fine.
Yeah. We've got Content Assistant / and highlight commands for text editors across the HubSpot platform. So for inbound, available in landing pages, website pages, global content, marketing, knowledge base, conversations, and social inbox as well. So I think that's just basically doing / to give you the commands. Pretty much straightforward. I've run into troubles with that, I guess. AI assisted report descriptions. So they're just giving you a description of the report. That's pretty much straightforward. AI generated reports. So creating reports can be really difficult and time consuming. Using the AI, we can now make it easier to answer the questions in reporting. That's pretty good. So it's pretty much telling us.
I'd be interested to see how that works. Do you put in I want to know,
No, I think it just gives you an overview of the data set and just sort of gives you a commentary.
So you're just talking about the description, or is it creating a report?
It's talking more about.
I thought that was the prompt-based report builder. I think we're talking. I think it might have been offline actually, but ChatSpot, or maybe I mentioned it before. But yeah, I think that's part of it, is potentially being able to ask it to build reports for you. But I'm not sure.
Yes. So okay? So you're right. So at the very top it says, "What is the goal of the report?" And then basically it will go through and spit it out. So
I think that's something that I'd like to see in action. I think it'd be very risky having a report built without understanding where that data is being pulled from and why.
Another side topic here, which is for another day, is I think
it will show you the filters.
I'm sure it'll show it to you, but even then.
Well, I mean, we're all obviously HubSpot partners here, and we help a lot of companies get up and running on the CRM and obviously enhance it. And it's going to be very interesting now to see where, where's the line drawn as to where we come in and assist people with getting up and running. I can see a lot of businesses are going to be very direct with what they think they need, but what they actually need is very different, which is where it's going to be very interesting to watch this space evolve for us.
Yeah, I think it'll probably end up leading more into that sort of consultative type work, I think, rather than that do it for you, because I think that the HubSpot tool is getting so much easier, and you're getting tools that are going to start, like this one here. The report building is actually half decent. I mean, there's no reason why you wouldn't just tell it what you want and then build the report instead of spending an hour or two trying to figure it out. But I think where partners like us will start to kind of, go with the flow in terms of what HubSpot's doing and how AI is progressing is, you might think this is what you need to do, and HubSpot will let you do that in a matter of, hours, but on your own potentially, but this is actually the better path that you should take holistically for the business. And I think that's probably where we'll probably end up heading, I think.
Talking about AI, this is the one that I'm looking forward to. AI created workflow descriptions.
Really?
Yeah, I love going into a portal and seeing the description of what the intent of the the workflow is. I think it's
I've
just
literally
nice.
never.
It's almost like the James Webb Telescope's trying to do the same thing.
I put a lot of like context into the name of the workflow, but I've never once written a description.
We want to know how this universe was created, this HubSpot portal.
They got the conversation summary so that it can summarize the conversation. And this is specific.
You have such a way with words. Conversation summary, that summarizes the conversation, I reckon.
Conversation across all channels in active threads can now be summarized in the comments section. This feature creates a conversation summary so any inbox user can quickly get the context of conversation without reading every message.
Can I want to add something about this, because we were talking about this offline, I think yesterday, even this morning, about how we've recently transitioned to the conversations inbox in HubSpot. Can I just say that feature is cool, no problem, but just like fix the conversations inbox,
No, let's focus on the
Okay, all right, I'll leave that for another day. That's fine.
Content assistant in the inbox. So with content, you can do everything from generating responses and customer inquiries and editing, etc. Cool. Landing page creation from content generation. Wow, that rhymes. Create a landing page in a Flash using the campaign assistant to write the copy, and then one click, your landing page is built.
Is that the free tools again we're talking?
Free tools, yeah, it's available at all hubs. And they said, best of all, it's free for everyone.
Huge.
It's probably not good. It probably will be, but maybe not. We can do Facebook text ads, copy generation. Cool. I think that's good as a base, just to get it out there, and then obviously tweaking it. That's for sure.
I don't know. I think we're just going to see every Facebook ads the same ad. They're all written by ChatGPT. It's just ChatGPT selling itself things on social media. So it's a shame. I think that the stuff that'll stand out will be the stuff that you do yourself.
Yeah, of course. Or just use it as a base to sort of get something out of the water.
Either a base or an enhancement to what you've done. Either way you look at it, you've got to do something.
Yeah. And one of the big things that came out, that wraps up the AI. How do we feel about that? Okay. Yeah.
It's a tool. Treat it like a tool, not an employee.
That's right. So Commerce Hub, it's out. I think we've seen some stuff. We've seen some payment links. Obviously, being in Australia, we haven't had the chance to utilise anything, but now they're bundling it all into one big hub. Thoughts, comments, suggestions?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I feel like, on this big island called Australia that we live in, we've missed out on a lot of these features in the past, and it's a bit of a sort of do we bother learning about it and telling our customers about it subject. But I think the fact that they're, making this more relevant, having all of those tools bundled, I mean, some of them are existing and they're just putting them into the spotlight now with this new hub. So I think it's a good maneuver, and I think there's some really useful things that obviously, that commerce component is continually brought up by our clients as something that's quite relevant for businesses, and they want that within the CRM. So no, I think it's a big win overall, whether we get it or not.
If a good friend of mine, Brian Halligan, once said, just making it frictionless for everybody to do business with you.
Yep. And I mean, the best advice I've ever gotten is make it easy for somebody to pay you, and to sign an agreement. So it's testament to that.
Cool. So we're wrapping up. So HubSpot Payments, which has been in everyone's portal, but they can't use. So they're pulling in quotes into the hub. They're pulling in payment links, which I think is going to be good. So being able to someone click on a link, fill out a form. And in America, I think it's the bank account for the auto direct debit, and also credit card information. That'll obviously be connected to a deal, I assume. Then you've got automated billing, so you can set the frequency of the billing. And then you've got products library. So they're going to wrap all of those things that are kind of in Sales Hub already, but into Commerce Hub, which I assume is going to be the foundational start.
I'm not entirely sure how the product stuff will span that gap. That's something that I've not considered. If the product stuff is going into Commerce Hub, do you need Commerce Hub to use products on deals?
Like line
sales?
items and stuff like that too, yeah.
So that'd be...
No, I mean, look, I imagine it would be some sort of hybrid, right? I mean, you think about snippets and you think about email templates that they sort of sit between service and sales. I think products will probably feel a similar sort of fate, I guess, with that. Look, I mean, I think Commerce Hub was the natural sort of progression for HubSpot. I think it's kind of been that thing that it's been lacking, and we've had a few customers that have been sort of shocked that they can build a customer portal and they can do some fantastic stuff with CMS, but then actually not sell a product on the front end. So I think that's going to be a huge forward step. It's just, I think coming back to what Luke's point was before, it's one of those things at the moment, unfortunately, where we don't really have the luxury of being able to dive into it, get it into customers' portals, and actually experience it because of being from the land down under. So hopefully we do get that really soon, so we can start getting some customers, say Shopify, WordPress, get them right into HubSpot.
Nice. So this is just a reminder, this is only available for everybody that is in the US at the moment. So there's talk about it rolling into different countries over time, but we might brief over some of these commerce hubs. Obviously we're over an hour at the moment. So this is coming, not now, but it is coming. So we go through Stripe payment processing. So you're able to process using Stripe, connect Stripe to it, and you can start using payment processing. Invoices. Invoices. So you can obviously generate the invoices inside HubSpot to be sent out. Don't ask me whether you can sync that with Xero or QuickBooks, because the answer is no. But I assume functionality will come, but it's going to be there. Again, only the US to start, unfortunately.
They get all the good candy too.
What's that? Oh, they do get all the good candy. So
That's invoice is its own object now, right?
yes, it is. If you look in your portal now, it'll be its own object, yeah. Cool. So there's a bit more to come on that. I thought there was going to be more to talk, but that's it.
Look, I'm happy to go on about it. I've got a lot of thoughts on that. But no, look, it's its own object. It's good. It needs to be in HubSpot. I guess the one thing I will say is that because it is restricted to HubSpot's, Commerce Hub, and as part of this sort of suite that unfortunately only US customers have access to, it is kind of restricting us from even just using it at a basic level for our APAC customers, right? Like if we had a flexible open API, we still had the object, we could use it just like a contact record, like any other object, then we could start using it today, but because it is still restricted and kind of kept it within that ecosystem, it's one of those things that if we wanted to have to build a custom object for it to get around it, and then 6 months later we get invoices available in Australia, it's like, what do we do? Do we keep using the custom object? Do we migrate it to the more native solution? It's going to be an awkward transition, I think, for us customers in the meantime.
I'm sure there's a good reason for it. It would be lovely to have a timeline, right? Of hey, we're looking at this period in a year and a half of bringing it international so that we can prepare for it. But I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, nice. It's just an awkward discussion to have with customers at the moment. Yeah. So many of our customers want to integrate their accounting software, get visibility into invoices, draft them and send them and manage them from HubSpot. I mean, we do that right now with triggering workflows. So if invoices are overdue, sending out reminders or prompts to the accounts teams and stuff like custom objects, workflows, no problem. But yeah, the fact that there's an object there, we can't use the word invoices because it's already being used by the standard objects. We've got to come up with some other alternative name for invoicing custom objects.
Invoices with a $sign.
Yeah, there we go. Just using a 1 for the I or something. Yeah, there we go.
So we're going to uncover the last part here, which is going to be mobile messaging. So I guess we've seen SMS pop up a little bit in our portals. Can we use it? No. Negatory, but we will talk about it. We'll be very brief about it as well. So obviously,
they did take away our ability to SMS each other through workflows, which is probably
a little while ago
for a good reason.
Yes,
that was like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah.
I think I set up somebody that I used it to go ahead and just annoy someone using a workflow using the internal tool back in the day.
Once or twice I've received a text from Trav at 2 a.m. based on some joke workflow he set up.
So we can do one-to-many messaging. So SMS is going to come out, so you can basically send bulk messages out to a bunch of people. I think that's what Message Media does at the moment, but they're going to be able to use it native inside HubSpot.
I still feel that Message Media is going to be quite popular just because of that extended functionality they bring beyond that. So yeah.
We've got consent management as well, so managing the subscribe and unsubscribe. I think that's a big part that HubSpot really wants to play nicely in and not sort of abuse the Twilio API there at all, I think. They got the editor. They're bringing out an editor. I don't know if it's worth talking about, but you can see the message and what it looks like when it arrives. Thoughts about that?
Yeah. Oh, it sounds fantastic. I can't wait to see it.
It's up on the screen. We've got we've got personalized token support. So I think nothing revolutionary there, but kudos to the team, which is good. We've got AI content assistant as well for SMS. So being able to sort of assist in building that out again.
And that wraps up this month's HubSpot user group for Brisbane. Hopefully you guys have taken away all the new stuff that's rolled out in the HubSpot account. If you've got any questions, comments, please make sure you leave comments below. But otherwise, stay tuned for our next HubSpot user group. We haven't quite figured it out yet. We've got to fly all the way back to Brisbane in order to figure that one out. So thanks for joining.